Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Nerdity Absurdity review. And I wanted to take a look at some of the figures from my collection that have impressed me a lot and ones that have impressed me less. So we're going to take a look at a collection of figures here. And let's start with Beast. Let's start with something positive. So this is, this is Gray Beast over here. And I was really impressed with him. For one thing, he comes with all the accessories. He comes with two heads. You got this snarling beast head, and then you have the happy, kind of goofy, carefree, more not somber, but more introspective beast from the animated series. It comes with a pair of glasses. It comes with a book. And yeah, this figure is just for what I like to call a big chonk, because this figure is a big chonk. It's a big chunk of plastic. He is superposable. I haven't got him in the handstand like some people have, but you can do that. He also comes with other hands as well. He's got two fists and two like claw hands there as well. This one can actually hold his book, which is really nice. It's the same book that came with Doctor Doom and things like that. He's got, look at that. He's got articulated feet. He's got lovely toe articulation. He's got the bicep cut and everything like that. He's got double jointed knees. Is it a double joint? It is a double jointed elbow. Does have double jointed elbows. He's got these butterfly joints, so he can get this huge range of motion. Beast is just really impressive. And here's the thing about quote unquote Gray Beast, as he's called. For my money, he's a pale blue. He's kind of a pale blue looking figure on the shelf. You get him lit up under white lights or even kind of bluish tinted lights. This looks like Beast. This is unmistakably Beast. And why I like him, why aren't you showing us the Blue Beast? Well, the Blue Beast is $80, ladies and gentlemen, and others. This Beast he goes for about 20 bucks Canadian. I got him for like 22 bucks before, maybe like $25 after tax on Amazon. Like 1 or 2 day shipping, whatever it was. And that's his regular market price. I saw him at a con a little while ago for 15 bucks Canadian, ladies and gents. That's what he's going for. I think you get a lot, and that was new in package, all the accessories. He wasn't loose or anything. $15 for everything. And he comes with a bunch. He's super posable. He's super flexible. You can get him in some great beast poses. He looks great. Honestly, if you want the Blue Beast, I would seriously recommend, because this is what I'm going to do. If I can get my hands on another like $15, slightly cheaper beast figure like this, I'm gonna just paint him that color blue. But I like this figure even without that, because I mean, come on, $15 versus $80 for a figure. What is with the action figure market, ladies and gentlemen? That's insane. That's the regular going price for Beast I see everywhere. I'm gonna have a brief disclaimer here about Action Figure 411. A lot of people use that as a barometer. You'll see a lot of figures on here that aren't listed on Action Figure 411, so that's why it's not a perfect system. Another reason why is because it looks at auctions and retail, but it doesn't necessarily look at things that like convention prices or different regional prices, things like that. I don't necessarily find it to be the be all and end all. And also remember, an average is an average, but often you see things going on the higher end. So I find their prices are a little bit low compared to what the reality is, what I see in Facebook Marketplace and eBay and Kijiji and the secondary market, things like that. So just bear that in mind. I like to think of Action Figure 411 as kind of like a Rotten Tomatoes or an IMDb. It's a good indicator for what's popular, but it's not the be all and end all. So, just shop smart, have your limit on what you're willing to pay for a 6-inch figure. If it's a figure you really need for your collection, maybe you'll go higher. I've certainly done that, but obviously I'm going to be a lot more satisfied with a figure if it comes with a whole bunch of stuff and I paid a decent price for it. $22 before tax for a figure like this. That's great. I think he actually might have been 19. I'm not sure. He was between 19 and $22 before tax, and that came with shipping and all the things. So that's really good. I really love this Beast figure. He was one of the first figures I got, one of the favorites of my collection. Now, for a disappointment, let's go behind him here. And we got I'm going to get you off the stand a little bit here, just so the folks at home can see what you're all about. Is War Machine. War Machine. Now, Joel, what are you thinking? Why is War Machine on this list? Well, it has something to do with these accessories, specifically these boot accessories. Like, so the main reason for me to get a figure is because of the figure itself, right? Like, if I like the figure itself, it doesn't matter what it comes with. Accessories can really make a figure. You'll see that in my Thor review. I talk about how that makes the figure, but that figure is also just really good in and of itself. So the problem is what I'm showing you right here. These don't peg on for crap. These don't want to stay on for crap. And that's a problem because he comes with a stand. This stand is garbage, ladies and gentlemen. I'll show you how this is supposed to work. So you get one of these. These actually link together-ish. So you get it like that. You get both of these. And you're supposed to be able to stand your figure on here. But here's the problem. Look at the foot and where it's supposed to peg in versus the footprint. I mean, you could flip it around if you want, but that doesn't fit any better. That's kind of how it fits-ish. And it doesn't cover the whole foot. It's not supporting the whole foot. You're putting the peg in here. It's supporting the weight of this entire figure, and this is a heavy figure, especially with all the accessories. This is a heavy figure, and it's supposed to support the weight of this figure, and it just doesn't want to do that. I'm trying to get it to do that here, and it's not working. It's not working at all. I'm gonna be really diligent, and I'm gonna try to actually get him to stand. I'm gonna attempt it for you guys on camera. I'm gonna try to get him to stand up. So he's standing a bit. He's standing a bit. He's standing a bit. He's down. So the first time I got him standing up and everything, he was it was on that stand. I was using all of the accessories because, of course, I was. And he lasted for a few minutes. I left him alone in an empty room. There was no one walking around or anything like that. I came back an hour later. He was on the floor. This stand, these tiny little spindly things, do not support the weight of this figure at all. They don't do squat. I don't know if they're from another figure or something. I heard there was an Iron Man figure or something they were from. They don't support his weight at all. This is a terrible design. And what's worse, it messed up my other accessories. Take a look here at his shooting missiles. You see a problem with that? There's supposed to be another missile right here. There is supposed to be another missile right here. And it fell off the stand, and that missile was lost. Day one. This accessory is just worse now. It's noticeably worse now, which makes it harder for me if I want to resell this thing or anything. And you can see how that popped off, too. These don't like to stay on. There's a lot of problems with these figures. There it goes. It's off again. I'm not even going to bother with that. These guns on the back like to fall off like it's nobody's business. The accessories like to pop off. They don't like to stay on. I've already lost that. I've lost that and two of the smoke pellets. Two of the smoke pellets when this guy fell down. Actually, no, that's not even true. One of them I lost because I was just stupid and I lost it. The other one I lost because I put it down for a second because it's small and clear and plastic. There's supposed to be like smoke plumes that can come out of the gun. It just disappeared because it's so small and tiny, and it's a piece of crap. You know, it's a real shame about this figure because the figure itself, ladies and gentlemen, looks really nice. He's got that retro design. It's like, I love how sleek it is. He poses pretty good, actually. He's not too bad. He stands okay without the stand. But here's the thing. The markup of the price, it was around $45. This should be like a $35 figure maybe with all the accessories. But this accessory should not have come with it. This is crap. This is garbage. I don't know what they were thinking. Hasbro, they don't often miss, but when they do, man, do they miss spectacularly. So I'm super disappointed with this figure. This is also, you saw I had him posed up on a Storm Collectibles stand. This guy's so heavy, this is all he can pose on if I want him flying. So that's a big disappointment over there. But let's get back to some happiness. Let's get back to a figure I actually like and want to talk about a little bit more. We're going to talk today about the Flash here. This is McFarlane Flash figure from the DC Multiverse. And it's not the Rebirth Flash or the TV show Flash or anything like this. I think he's actually like a New 52 Flash. But yeah, you've seen this guy all over the place. He's amazing. He was about $20. And again, price is important. $20 retail, right? I got it from, I think it was NMC, Northman Collectibles in Toronto. He was in stock. He was something I got to bring the cost of the shipping down, because he was like $20 or $26, maybe between there, before tax. And he was just, yeah, if I buy another $20 item, I'm going to save on shipping. And I did want a Flash to complete my Justice League, and I thought he looked cool, and I thought this is the perfect opportunity. He's amazing. One of the reasons why he's amazing, ladies and gents, he's so flexible. The joints aren't stiff. They're nice and loose right out of the package. They got a lot of flexibility there. You can get him in some crazy, crazy poses. I had him like flipping around and basically like doing a backflip or whatever. He can do whatever. Double joints all over the place. Look at that. Look at that. Toe pivot, our ankle articulation. And look at all these accessories he comes with. Look at these lightning accessories. They make him look so cool. For a $20 figure, gang, you're getting a lot. And you notice too, I've been posing him around and I've been fooling with him a little bit. None of these have fallen off. Unlike our figure, the mechanical blunder over there, the Flash, these like to stay on him. He is super cool. He freestands pretty well as well. This foot base thing for a support is nice. But if you need him in some other kind of pose, you can do that with your handy dandy DC multiverse stand. I'm gonna get him out of the way because he's hitting that over. But yeah, I really like this figure. I really like this figure. I think it's solid, and despite the fact that I'm having a little trouble posing him right now on camera because things always mess up on camera, I think he's really good and he's really nice. And I love this. I even like the texture, the material of the plastic. You can see like there's ridges in the costume there. You can see that on the knee. It looks like he's wearing some kind of rubberized, vulcanized, I don't know, running suit kind of thing going on there. Maybe I'll just try to pose you up vanilla because you're not wanting to stand on this slippery table as I do this review. So, yeah, but this is the Flash from DC Multiverse, and I really like him. I really like him. I think he's swell. I think he's stellar. I think he's wizard. I think he's smashing. I think he's keen. I think if I could just get him to stand up on camera. There we go. After 5 years, I get him standing. I am not the greatest at getting things to stand, and this is a slippery surface. But there we are. We have the Flash standing, and I really like this figure. He's super flexible, and he looks great, and the accessories are really cool. I like him. I like the Flash. Now, someone I don't like as much. Here is Thanos. This is the Marvel Select Thanos. I believe this is was the Disney Select one. And I got this guy because I loved the paint design of this figure. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Marvel Select has some of the best paint design for action figures of this scale, of this price. And the paint design is really good. It's almost Egyptian theming with the gold and the blues, and it looks really good until you get to the application. Well, first of all, people have mentioned this before. This splotch on the front, that's intentional. That comes on all the figures. I don't like it. It looks like a mistake. But he looks okay. He looks okay from the front. He looks okay. But you get to the back, there's a little weathering down there. You can see that. What's going on, I don't know. But you get to the back, and oh, that's just sloppy. That is just a sloppy, sloppy, sloppy job. You get paint, you get blue paint in there. They're not going inside the lines at all. There's paint chipping all over the place. Really disappointing. Again, $40 figure, and he's not superposable. He comes with one other head, and that's it. He's a bulkier figure, so I don't mind that he's not superposable. But ultimately, if the paint isn't that good, you really need the paint and the sculpt to be good on a figure that's less posable and is more bulky, because they're going to be doing more statuesque stuff. So Thanos is a bit of a disappointment. I think his heads are good. I think the bald head is good too. I like things that are helmeted. more in general. That's just me. That's just my preference. But I do like the head sculpts. I think they came out okay. I think they came out pretty good. But yeah, just the application, especially on the back here. I don't know if you can see that, but to me, that's just that's just not gonna cut it for a $40 figure. You know, he was like $40. Yeah, I think he was 39.99 Canadian before tax. That's not, and you can see there's some more. There's scuffing on the back here, and this was brand new. This was out of the package. This isn't me playing with it. This is I got it out of the package immediately. I was disappointed by the paint apps. So yeah, I don't know. He was going to be the only Thanos in my collection, but I might end up going for that. Not the Walmart exclusive. He was too dark, but that King Thanos is still out there. So we'll see about that. I want to end on a high note, so we're going to look at another one that was a disappointment. And here we go. Whoop, knocked over the Flash. Wonder if that's symbolic of anything. Here we go. Here's another Marvel Select. And this is Sandman. And there's a couple of bad things about Sandman. The first, most notably, is the paint application. Again, paint design, I love. Look at the sand. Look at the sand. The sand looks really good, and he's got a couple of half-transformed sand hands that looks really good, too. Look at the spiky ball. Take a look at the spiky ball. Do you see that? You see that on the spiky ball? The painting of that sand there? That looks really good, which is why I got him. That fell off. We're going to talk about that. But look at some of this other paint detailing. Look at that blotch right there. Huh? Or even worse, look at the neck. Look at, why is there green on his neck? There shouldn't be green on his neck. That don't make no sense. That's really disappointing. Yeah, that's really sloppy, in my opinion. Again, $40 figure. I expect better. But here's the thing that really ticks me off about this figure. So this figure is all about posability, right? He comes with a lot of accessories. Far too many human hands, but he comes with accessories like this, which you can swap on and swap off. And he comes with an alternate base where it looks like he's just popping out of the sand. He comes with a sand base. He comes with a lot of stuff, which is good, which is nice. We like that. But here's the problem. So first time I pegged, I believe it was this exact application. First time I pegged this on, no problem. Second time I went to go and peg it off, this peg snapped off. Now, pegs snap off of figures, ladies and gentlemen. That happens. It doesn't necessarily ruin my enjoyment of a figure. Tiny Tina, who I reviewed on this channel before, snapped her arm right off, and guess what? It's still a figure I love. The only reason she's not here right now is because I've already talked about her at length, but she's an honorary mention. Tiny Tina, one of my favorite figures. I think it's just stunning. I think they knocked it out of the park despite its flaws. But the problem with this is he's all about the modular posability, right? He's all about snapping things on. I kind of was able to glue it back on, but look, even then it fell. One of those spiky things fell off there. This was the second time I used it. So basically I was able to peg one thing on here and it snapped. And it's not like it was hard or that difficult to get it on in the first place, but it just the very second time it snapped. And I wasn't being rough or anything. I was actually being very, very gentle. And at a certain point, I just knew the dang thing was breaking. So, I mean, and this is not just a me problem, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard of other people having those kind of problems with this figure. So, yeah. Not the best Sandman. No. If I can get my hands on the retro figure, I'm going to try to resell this guy. Of course, selling them the caveat that, that's broken and that's missing. Probably because this is broken and snapped off. And I want to say something about all these disappointing figures. Like, it's not like I hate them. I don't hate anything that I have on display. If I display it, I still like it to some degree, but it's just, I'm very disappointed, especially with this modular figure. Should not be snapping that easily, and that's a problem with this figure in general. Not just from me. Other people have told me the same thing, and that's just really crappy. And then there's just sloppy paint jobs here and there, and it just makes for a disappointing figure. Not necessarily a terrible figure, not necessarily a bad or the worst figure, but a disappointing figure. Now we're going to go a little 2-for-1 right here. once I get Flash just doesn't want to stand today. I don't know what it is. There we go. Flash is standing. But we're going to move into a bit of a different territory. We're going to move away from Marvel a little bit and talk about our old pal Neka. This is Neka Kong. And Neka Kong is probably my favorite figure in my collection. He is my favorite figure for many reasons. For one, his articulation is, again, we're talking about a figure that I like to call a big chonk. This is a big chonk of a figure, and his articulation is great. He's ratcheted all over the place. Ratcheting is great until it goes, but it's great all over the place. There's stiffness in the joints, but it feels very secure when you do that. He's got great articulation for a figure of this size. He's, again, ratcheted legs. You can hear that clicking. Or here, next to the mic. See, I'm clicking his legs next to the mic. So that means he's going to be sturdy when he stands. And yeah, you can get him into like gorilla poses. He's in one a little bit. That actually looks pretty good for something I've just barely posed. He looks really, really nice. He looks really, really good. The paint detail is great. Take a look at that chest. Take a look at that. I love this figure. I just think that, I got it out of the package and I thought he looked so cool. They knocked it out of the park. And I'm not even showing you my favorite thing about this figure. He comes with fisted hands and open hands, but here's one thing I really like about it. Give me a second because I didn't prepare this like I should have. Where are you, King Kong? How can I find you? Here we go. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that takes this from a good gorilla figure to a good King Kong figure. Do you see that? Do you see that? Now, licensing wise, they can't call this, whatever, 1930s King Kong, but that's 1930s King Kong. That's his head right there. That's the big kind of dopey, open mouth. I put it on the figure. Somebody who walks in who barely knows anything about action figures. My sister walked in, took one look at the figure and said, "Oh, it's King Kong. Not some random generic gorilla, King Kong." But if you want a more realistic Kong head, there you go. He comes in several flavors. There's a black and white Kong. There's the regular color version, which I got, and then there's like a Technicolor version. And there's also versions that come with plants and things like that. I think he was like $35 to $39. And it's probably one of, if not the favorite figure in my collection. But I did say that this was a double bill, ladies and gentlemen and others, of not this figure, but another figure. And I'm going to show you why in just a second. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Negasonic Teenage Warhead is basically, for all intents and purposes, an accessory. She came with the movie version of Deadpool, which is my favorite version. I really like the sculpt on it. It looks like his suit. It looks like Ryan Reynolds from the movie. A few people have complained about the details, but whatever. Negasonic is a decent figure. She's not the figure that you get the set for. She comes with it because I guess that's the way they figure that's the only way they're going to sell her. She looks good. She looks like the actress from the movie, whose name I'm forgetting right now. She looks like an X-Man. Maybe you could kit bash her into like a rogue or something like that if you wanted. But that's not even the reason why she's here. The reason why she's here, ladies and gentlemen, is because you can pose her nicely. If I get it working. Yeah. You can pose... Whoop! Knocked everyone over. That's okay. King Kong's a gorilla. He's allowed to do that. You can pose her nicely with King Kong. She's a small enough figure that she can fit in places nicely. And you can pose her up in a battle scene with King Kong. Like that. Her fire effect fell off there. I'm okay with that. But, I mean, look at that. Isn't that cool? And I'm a person who, I don't mind things crossing over universes, too. I mean, you could even just say she's random fighter girl. She's got this permanent scowl on. Is fighting King Kong with fiery fists. To me, that's a cool scene right there. This is kind of how I have them displayed. I've had them displayed this while for a long time, even though I love this head. Even though this head is my favorite thing probably about the figure. Well, I can't say that. There's so many good things about the figure. The fur detail, the brown paint, the articulation for such a big chunky figure, the fact that it's a big chunky figure, the $40 price point, but the fact that he can have a battle scene. He's standing here, no base, holding up another figure in his hand, and he's not super tall either. See, where are you standing, Kong? Standing at, oop, that's the wrong way around. Maybe like 8 inches tall. He's probably a little bit taller if you get him kind of fully vanilla. But yeah, I really like this combination. Like the fact that I can do this, the fact that I can pose the figures this way, and it just makes a cool fight scene. The fact that she's small enough that she can be suspended like that. I might even be able to do this with some other figures too, but unlike other female figures, because she has, she's kind of shaved her head a bit here, doesn't have as much hair. She's not as top heavy. So yeah, I really like that. But yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There and others. There's the figures I like. There's the ones I don't so much. What do you think? Do you got figures in your collection that you don't like as much? Do you have figures in your collection that really surprised you and that you really love? And you'll notice, too, that the figures I like, with the exception of Kong, who's the $40 price point, the other ones were cheaper. Obviously, Negasonic came in a 2-pack. I think she would be about $30 if the 2-pack was like $60 or $69. Or maybe she was like $35. I think she was like $35 after taxes if you consider her and Deadpool together. But yeah, you'll notice that price point does affect enjoyment for me. But it affects it one way. I find if I pay a lot for a figure and the figure really impresses me or meets my expectations, I feel satisfied with that, even for a more expensive figure. If a figure is cheaper and it does a lot more, obviously that goes a long way. But if I'm paying $40 something for a figure and there's bad paint apps and stuff is snapping off and accessories don't work, then guess what? I'm not going to have as good a time. And you're not either buying it. This isn't to say if you love any of the figures I said I didn't like as much that there's anything wrong with that or anything. It's silly I have to say that. This is all opinion. If you love some of the figures I pointed out here, I do think there's good things to like about all of these figures, even the ones that are on my disappointment list. Remember, it's a disappointment list. It's not a hate list. It's not, I don't like you, I don't love you anymore. It's just, you've disappointed me, and I think I need to see other action figures. That's really all it is. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this little trip. I like talking about things that make me really, really happy, like Kong and Negasonic fighting over here. And I think it's important to talk about things that are kind of disappointing, too. So thank you for indulging me. Thank you for joining me on this adventure through some of my collection. And thank you for, remember to like and subscribe and all that beautiful stuff. And check out the Nerdity Absurdity on the TikToks. And we're on the Facebooks. And we're also on the Instagrams. Check out all the content. There's content, basically, whenever I can get it to you. Posting schedules, what are those? But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll catch you next time.